Hello everyone, welcome to this little game here. Well, it's not really little, but but the main game is absolutely massive, and oh, I should have taken this off, my goodness. Yeah, Xenoblade 3 is coming out really soon, so yeah, in 2 weeks actually, so pretty hyped for that. So yeah, I'll just explain this in a little bit, and we start the time on new game, so I'll count you down in 3, 2, 1, and go. So Future Connected is the tiny side story. Well, it's basically an epilogue to the main game, where it's based a year after the events of the main game, and yeah, we've investigated the behind the shoulder to find out that Alchemorph is still there, which is a hello. That's weird. There we go. That's a hard menu to do sometimes, to just switch to casual mode immediately. So we found out Alchemorph was in the behind the shoulder, and which is Melia's hometown, and we get shot down immediately. So great job us. And now we have to rescue our other 2 party members in the game, which are Nene and Kino, who are Ricky's children from the main game. So immediately we're going to do a menu here. Just setting up. I'll explain everything soon. And okay. And so this game basically has like an arts window, and it's in real-time combat. And we're taking down these wolves very quickly. And that's it for the first part of the game. So casual mode increases your damage by at least 1.5 and reduces your damage by a little bit. And level penalties don't apply, so we won't be grinding in this category, which is a relief. In normal mode categories, you have to grind in order to make the level penalties a bit lesser, and so you can hit enemies. So luckily we skipped the grind in this category. So the bar on the shoulder, the history of this area is actually this area was supposed to be put into the original game, but they repurposed it for Future Connected. So it's kind of cool that they managed to put an area that was supposed to be in the original game and do something with it. So right now we're collecting landmarks for later in the game, and so that we can just go back to them later. Landmarks are basically quick travel points, so we can just like immediately go back to them. And quick traveling is actually really quick in this game, so it's pretty cool. We mainly play as Shulk because he can build up the party gauge in the top left corner whenever I'm in combat, or or you see our combat whenever it goes down slowly. So we go to this little town called the Companion's Cape, and we find that the high-end people who are here, they said they've been trapped by the Fog King, and they tried to take Alchemorph back from the Fog King, but they haven't been successful, and they've kind of given up on doing that. And Melie and the others feel bad, and now they're trying to reach Alchemorph to investigate this Fog King. But on the way, we're going to meet this unskippable cutscene, which introduces the Pond Spectres we're collecting. So unlike any percent, we're going to collect all these Pond Spectres. Pond Spectres are these cute little tiny yellow knock-on. And oh my goodness, that's going to be useful for a little bit later. But yeah. So we're going to jump towards this Pond Spectre to get a little bit closer by the end of this cutscene. And yeah, we can't skip this cutscene. But it introduces the concept of these pond specters and collecting them all. So basically they explain that these pond specters that we collect, 12 in all. This pond specter lied to us and said there's only 11. But yeah, so yeah, we're going to collect all 12 pond specters this run, and as fast as we can, hopefully. Now for this next part, we're collecting our first pond specter. That pond specter is given for us for free, so I guess technically the second one. But this is the first one we actually have to do a quest for, and this is actually the most reset heavy part of the run. So we're going to go do a little bit of fishing at first, and she's quite hungry, so we got to kill some fish. Oh, this is actually really good. So these fish can be anywhere in the pond, and we've got really good RNG there, which is wow. Okay. I think I'm going to get... Oh, okay. So the red circle around us is the aggro that is on us. Multiple enemies can put aggro around us depending on how much damage we do to the enemy. Nene's job is mainly to retain aggro. Shulk is a glass cannon. Wow, almost died there. And now this pond specter now wants more Moro cobs. Now I collected one earlier, which prevents that one further at the back from messing us up, because the enemy can spot us, and the moment the enemy spots us, we cannot collect collectibles because we are detected by an enemy. So that is very fortunate that we got the one earlier, so we don't have to avoid that enemy that is flying towards us, the Momodora up there. But yeah, that was very good. I'm surprised with how that went. That can go really badly because the fish in particular can be anywhere in this pond, and it's kind of a big pond. So yeah, very happy with how all of it went. So when we get all these pond specters, we get this little menu saying that we collected the pond specter, and we're able to move on. So the next part of this run, we're going to collect landmarks so we can reach to other areas later on. It mainly cuts out walking and all that, and in particular, we're going to take a really big shortcut that cuts out 2 minutes of walking. So it's kind of appreciated that we find these little platforming shortcuts, and yeah, this game is part platformer, so yeah, you wouldn't expect that out of a JRPG. So right now we're going to collect the landmark to our left, which is Sen's Thoroughfare, and that we need to walk to later on, while avoiding all these enemies. And we're also going to talk to a pond specter that happens to be near that landmark to start her quest. As you may have noticed, collecting landmarks and stuff give us extra experience, which is really nice. So we don't have to always fight enemies and grind up to get experience. So this is the big 2-minute walking skip that we do. It's called Sculpt the Land Skip, and please be in a better spot, enemies. Sometimes these enemies will attack us, and yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. And that was a critical hit too. Whenever the number is pretty large, that's the indicator of a critical hit. Indicative of a critical hit. Okay, this is rare. Okay. That is extremely rare to happen, by the way. So, I think I got extra experience, I'm not sure, but that might help me along the way. But that very rarely happens. But yeah, we just skipped 2 minutes of walking, by the way. And now we're going to go towards this area to collect another landmark and talk to another pond spectre to start his quest.
You speak to Nanona? Brave mortal.
This pond spectre has a god complex, by the way. They all have different personalities, and some are a bit arrogant and all that sort of stuff, but they help you along the way a bit. They have, so another thing about pond spectres too is they have their own art, and sometimes they're helpful and can pick us up. So the more we have, the better we are combat-wise as well. But they don't help us an awful lot, because otherwise we have like 15 party members in our party, which I guess they're kind of prepared for that for Xenoblade 3, because then we're going to have like 6 party members at once. So, yeah. So right now we're going to an area that's meant for like the end of the game, but we're just going to quickly grab these landmarks in order to, yeah, just in order to get there quickly later on. And we're going to do a special thing regarding landmarks called a, basically we're going to use this landmark here, and we're going to, because landmarks put us in a special area once they spawn us in, we get to abuse that because the quick travel is so fast in this game. And here, our goal here is to actually die by the next landmark. So what we're going to do here is jump perpendicular to the gate. We're going to get aggroed by this egg here, and then we're going to get aggroed by the unique monster here. Oh, he did a lot of damage, okay. So I better not provoke too many enemies here. Okay. So I can safely get through this area. So at the end of this, I want to die. And the fastest way is to run back and get smacked after getting that landmark. So now I got Margas, I can just go back to Zephyr's Castle and continue the game as per normal. So at this point of the game, casually, you have like 2 pond spectres. And the thing about having at least 3 pond spectres is that you have the ability to do a pond spectre attack. But the catch is you need one of different flag colours. So we've got, so the one we got for free, which is Tentu, we got a blue flag. Elven is a yellow flag one. And unfortunately, this one is not a red flag one. This one's actually another blue flag. So it's kind of tricking you into like saying, oh, there's a new one there. Oh, wait, it's actually a blue flag. Never mind, you don't get access to these special attacks. But we are going to collect this pond spectre because that is a requirement of this category, to collect them all.
And did we have a second for a quick donation?
Sure.
Yep. So we got a $5 anonymous donation saying, can we get a $5 train going to name that Ocarina of Time file? Mine goes to Name. So that puts Name in the lead by a whopping, insurmountable 12 cents on $61.12, then Lonk on $61, then Zonk on $50. And just a reminder that that will be closing at the end of this run.
Ugh, no! Oh, I don't need that. That's unfortunate. Cool. So we just saved Deca Deca from some spiders. Unfortunately, Deca Deca is not Red Flag Pond Spectre, so we do not have access to Pond Spectre attacks yet. But it's pretty cool that we have him now, since he's just on the way. Anyway, that landmark I just kind of collected and dropped down. Yeah, it's a fast way to just go back up. So now we're heading towards Alchemoth for real now. Again, Alchemoth is kind of a big significant part for Melia, the main character of this campaign actually. It's her hometown and she grew up there. Oh wow, I can't believe I collected that before I got spotted. But the reason why we're still collecting collectibles is because we need at least one Sky Mole for a Pond Spectre quest later on. So you might recognize this area from Xenoblade Chronicles 1. It's the Saltland Seal from the High NTSC, or the Era Sea mainly. And yeah, it's kind of weird how it showed up here. And also Alchemoth. Oh yeah, so if you are playing this game casually, it's kind of important for you to beat that monster. Otherwise, it's kind of difficult to get that quest done. The only time he consistently spawns is right there. So we hit the teleport to Alchemoth, and now we're in Alchemoth now. And things are a bit different. First of all, it's a bit ruined from the end of the first game. And there's a Pond Spectre waiting for us, and it happens to be a red flag Pond Spectre. And this is like the red flag Pond Spectre that we get. Also, regarding talking to Pond Spectres and doing quests, we get like this, we can get potentially extra dialogue, which is supposed to be like increasing affinity. But because affinity doesn't really exist in this game, it's one of the things that you do not get in Future Connected. It's kind of just a waste of time getting extra dialogue boxes. So if you get like 2 extra ones, you lose a second, and there's nothing you can really do. It's completely random. But yeah, this dramatic music is playing because we're supposed to save a boy that's like at the top of at the front of the palace. But we're just ignoring him right now to do this Pond Spectre quest because this is like the best opportunity we can do this Pond Spectre quest. Oh, okay, I clicked that one extra time. No. Alright. We're all good here. So now we got the 5 feathers. Our first red feather Pond Spectre joins us, and we now have access to Pond Spectre attacks. Now, you can do 3 different things with Pond Spectre attacks. You can choose to either go for all the damage, or you can either daze the enemy for a while, or heal yourself. Obviously, in this run, we're mostly going for damage. So we're selecting the middle one all the time. Once we use a Pond Spectre attack. And they replace chain attacks in this game. So another thing that has been replaced in this game is we do not get visions. So visions are a major part of the main game, but they are not of this game. Also, wow, we got kind of lucky here. Got the fence down, which is fantastic. So that means this fight is going to go really fast. Of course, this bird likes moving around, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, that was a very quick bird fight. So after we beat the bird, who we thought that was the Fog King, turns out the bird wasn't the Fog King, but it turns out to be a more powerful enemy, and our attacks basically phase through the Fog King. So we have no way to beat the Fog King now, we just retreat to this kid's laboratory, who happens to be called Teelan, who was the NPC in the first game, but he's now given like a significant part in Future Connected. So here at Teelan's lab, we actually meet Tarea, who, how do I describe her? She's basically, she's not quite Melia's sister. She's more like related to her through her half-brother, and they have the same half-brother, but they're not even related at all. It's really complicated. But yeah, so we meet Tarea, and we're told to go to this other city here called Grandel. But before we go to the city, we're going to have to talk to another Pond Spectre who's a little out of the way, but we need to start his quest. So, by the way, the reason I jump around near enemies when I get spotted is so that I don't get slowed down when I get attacked. Because if you get hit by an enemy while you're walking, it basically stops you in place for like a second. So Setset here happens to be on top of this, and we're going to talk to him. We won't be doing his quest for a while, but it's just good to get his quest started, like the other Pond Spectres that we have been talking to. So right here, when we drop down, there's two caterpillars that are like kind of guarding the way. And if you get too close to them, they'll run up to you and try to use a technique that binds you, which stops you from moving. So it's very important to not get spotted by them. They actually spot you by hearing instead of the sight lines. So if you make too much noise, basically by walking so quickly, you get spotted.
Nene feel how much must crazy.
So whereas we're entering Grandel, we see this Pond Spectre right here. He happens to be the last Pond Spectre we're going to collect, but we can actually talk to him right now and start his little quest, which is basically collecting all the other Pond Spectres. And nice, he only gave me $1 box, which is... Oh, I didn't get that landmark. Sometimes you can just go do a little bit too early and it's just like, oh, I didn't do that right in the right time. Anyway. So right here in Grandel, we're going to do a little bit of shopping. Basically, we're going to get a new weapon for Nene, which will increase her attack and her critical hit rate by 7%. And we're going to do only bit of menuing in the run. So we're giving Melia Topple Plus and Nene her new weapon, and then we're going to upgrade our arts. This decreases their cooldown, so I don't have to wait for them as long in order to use them again. And also increases their attack power. Yeah, that's basically all the upgrading we do. So no more of that menuing. So we kind of got reports that there are these fog beasts around, and we gotta kind of take care of them. So the first little fight here is against Ponios, and they can be a bit trolly sometimes. So hopefully they won't be too annoying. We ideally want Nene to take the aggro away from us, and then we're gonna try to backslash that one and use Buster on both of them. That's good. Nice, Nene took that one out. And then backslash to finish it off. Nice. That was a very good fight. So this next fight is pretty simple too. Basically, don't get aggro on you and make sure the aggro stays on Nene.
Let's focus our efforts.
Very well. Nene, hear you. Summon
Perspective. Time to join forces. Time for battle. All right. I'm feeling it.
So the final fight in this free set of fights is against Galga, who we meet early on, but he seemed a bit suspicious and all that. And now we gotta take him out. This is our first use of Pond Spectres, which you can see is a pretty of a QTE, but the QTE is actually hard to hit because the final one is actually a 2-frame window.
Prospectus, remind to let loose.
Nice, got it. So yeah, I'm using Pond Spectres a lot this run, and hitting that 2-frame window can be a little bit difficult. Please don't be mean. I'm gonna have to use backslash. It's unfortunate. That was a pretty decent fight, apart from having to use backslash on Galga, but that's all good. The Pond Spectres, by the way, when you use the Pond Spectre attack, can be a damage roll. So you can take out Galga in one go if you're lucky, but it's pretty unlikely for that to happen. Would have been cool though. So now we're going to do this quest for getting the high ether that is needed to take out the Fog King. So we just need to talk to a couple of NPCs and just like walk to a couple of them. So it will be a good time for donations.
Can I help?
Yeah, absolutely. So we got $10 from Yuki Layla, who says, "Good luck to Aeon on the run. Xenoblade is absolutely one of my favorite games of all time, and it's absolutely wonderful to see it ran at ASM. Have fun on the run."
Thank you.
We also got $2.13 from Upjohn. 13 cents go to Lonk, the rest go to charity. So that is now ahead by 1 cent.
Oh, by the way, there's an auto run feature, so I don't need to put my hands on the controller. There's still some things we need to collect, like a sky mole that's still eluding us, and please don't get in my way, bird, thank you. But yeah, otherwise we're going to do another Pond Spectre quest here. Basically we're collecting, this is the one the yellow flag Pond Spectre we actually do in any percent. The Pond Spectre is called Tutu, and he says he's a good choice, and he's absolutely correct, compared to Elven, who's the most annoying one. But yeah, so Tutu's just right here. We just collect his mirror, so it's very, very straightforward quest. And it also happens to be along the way for any percent as well. So that's why he is a good choice.
Talk to Tutu is good choice.
I'll never get used to this feeling.
So now after collecting that Pond Spectre, we are going to continue with the main quest of finding that high ether. So we need to talk to this old lady here. So the funny thing about after talking to this old lady is that the flag for the High Ether is actually there. So you don't need to talk to Ransom afterwards. You can just skip talking to him and go and collect the High Ether after talking to the old lady. It's kind of a funny oversight, but and we clearly take advantage of it in this category and 80%. But for now, we're actually going to do a Pond Spectre quest. So, yeah, we're going to take out these chromas because we happen to be strong enough to take them out. So you might have, I guess he didn't say it, but whenever Shulk says focus your attacks, it actually means the AI is set to an aggressive state. So basically they're going to do like, they're basically going to be act more aggressively and do more attacks consistently. Like, yeah, Naya just used Sword Drive, which is like her most powerful art. Wow, that was a really good fight. So here it's a little bit risky because our quest enemy is here, but there's a unique monster next to it who is really powerful. So hopefully we do not provoke the unique monster and only provoke the quest monster. Okay, good. I think we only provoked the quest monster. We'll see after this Pond Spectre attack, but hopefully the Pond Spectre attack does not hit the unique monster. Yeah, it's really hard to hit the last one, as you can see. But luckily it doesn't really matter for this fight. So we're going to walk back, collect the High Ether, and yeah. And actually finish the Pond Spectre quest and turn them in. So we just actually did 2 Pond Spectre quests. So now we're going to talk to the Pond Spectre with the God Complex over here. And then we're going to talk to Fafora, that's right.
You speak to Nanona? Brave mortal.
I need to be even stronger, my friends.
The main reason why we gain these Pond Spectres now is to increase our Pond Spectre damage. Because there's like these tier levels where the more Pond Spectres you have, the more damage they do. So the tier damage goes from 3, 7, and then 11, I think. That's from the top of my head. And obviously we want a new damage tier to be able to take out some certain enemies much more quickly. And not leave it to randomness. Because unfortunately Pond Spectres do have damage rolls. And especially when you don't have enough Pond Spectres to shut the damage you need. So we're going to take a little shortcut up here. Gonna go up this hill. This is like 6 seconds faster than going around. And hopefully I don't accidentally provoke the fog beast that is in that little building there.
Isn't going well.
Please hang in there.
Oh, I won't be able to talk to Fafora, but able to talk to Fafora just in time. So now we have a little bit of a problem here. We don't actually have a Sky Mole yet, and we're approaching the Pond Spectre that needs the Sky Mole. So hopefully we're able to get it along the way here with collecting these blue orbs. Now some of these blue orbs have a higher chance of dropping a Sky Mole. I think the highest is 25% and the lowest is 5%. So hopefully the luck comes through and we're able to collect it along the way. So sometimes you have to go a little bit out of the way. Okay, that is not a Sky Mole. Where's... Okay, there it is. It's like... sometimes it's hard to see them because they're like camouflaged in the background of the clouds. No, not that. I think the ones towards the back have a higher chance of collecting it. And yeah, we're basically going along the spine of the shoulder. We're also going to talk to a Pond Spectre along the way to start their quest. And it's the longest Pond Spectre quest in the game. Oh. I thought someone was attacking me there. But I am provoking these enemies on purpose just so that I can get a little bit extra experience in case one of them falls off the edge. Which unfortunately then it's pretty rare that happens, but it's also pretty nice when you get it.
Yes? What now?
So we started Hikasa's quest, and we're going to go to that a little bit later. Oh, it started to rain. So that kind of changes the enemies with how they work and how they spawn. So now nebulas are spawned around the area. So that means I probably can't do the fast strat for Faithers, because fortunately nebulas are pretty prone to getting aggroed whenever you aggro the monster she wants you to beat. Nothing there. This also changes the collectible spawns too, so hopefully I can actually get a Sky Mole before talking to Pfeiffer. If I don't get a Sky Mole before talking to Pfeiffer, she would actually show the locations of all the Sky Moles. So that means I just have to pick one location and grab one from there.
What? Don't you dare give up.
Oh, please give me one. That is not a Sky Mole. Yeah. Oh, this one's over there. Wow. I was going to collect this one quickly. That is not a Sky Mole. Okay. I'm going to collect this one over here, and then I'll have to talk to Pfeiffer. And if it isn't a Sky Mole, I will see the locations of them. And just go to a point and just grab one. Nope, okay. That's pretty unlucky that you don't get a Sky Mole at this point. Okay, let's see where they are. Okay, there's two over there. Perfect. This one's the best one to collect because it's pretty safe from enemies. And then go back to this landmark that we collected, and then we can go back and talk to Pfeiffer. It's a bit unfortunate, but it is marathon luck, I suppose. So now we talk to Pfeiffer again, and we're going to be asked to kill an enemy. Mainly a green Ferris. Unfortunately, that nebula is too close. So we're going to go for the slow one.
Mill, but we cannot be reckless.
So after talking to Pfeiffer, I believe we have 8 Pond Spectres. So we have enough to reach the new damage tier, which is going to be very nice for some fights. We're also going to be higher level for the Mammoth fight, which is a very inconsistent fight when you have like no power. But because we are on yellow bar against the Mammoth instead of red bar, which makes a difference between levels, and especially with dealing more damage, we're going to beat this Mammoth very quickly.
Let's focus our efforts.
Understood. Nene got it.
Fortunately, I did break the Mammoth. If I don't break the Mammoth, it does an attack called Sumo Stomp, which topples my entire party. So I should go into topple breaking and all that. So So braking is like a first step in the combo, and whenever you break an enemy, they're vulnerable to getting toppled, and toppling them it makes them unable to move and all that. But that was a pretty good fight. So now we have this giant spider here, and we're just going to take it out with our Pond Spectre attacks. Oh wait a minute, we don't have enough. Wow. Okay, that's a first. I should mention too, regarding the QTEs using the Pond Spectre attacks, that it really depends on the character that so the character that shows up at the start, the first QTE goes either quicker or slower. The second QTE always remains the same, and the last one's a 2-frame window. So the QTEs are actually a bit more complex than they appear, but you do only press one button to enable them to get more damage. So we're going to continue Hikasa's quest and get that done. Platforming can be a little bit finicky here, but there's like points where we can jump up relatively easily. So now Hikasa's asked us to do one more thing, so we're not quite done with Hikasa's quest yet. But we are going to start another Pond Spectre quest, which is Tay-Tay's. And we're asked to get a little keepsake of his near a couple of Turkins, which is a bit annoying. Or rather, a Turkin has stolen it and we need to defeat the Turkin. Or a certain one. Do we have any more donations?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have $50 from Nico Sar, who says, "We measure, find treasure, you know the rest. Future Connected is a delightful coda to Xenoblade Chronicles 1, and it's great to see it done fast with Xenoblade Chronicles 3 just around the corner. Good luck with the run, Aeon. Put this towards the challenge of your choice."
We're gonna name the file name, right?
Yeah, well, on the topic of that, we did also get some other donations towards it in the meantime, with $2.02 from Rycon Gaming, who said, "Not letting the name meme die, not on my watch. 2 cents to name for Ocarina of Time, rest to charity." And then $20.02 from Sten, who said, "Gotta get name over the line. Put 2 cents towards name with the Ocarina of Time file name, and the remainder towards V6 100%. So it's now name on $61.16 and Lonk on $61.13. Not sure if you want to...
Yeah. I won't put it towards name, yeah.
Yep. All right, so the full 50?
Yep.
All right, that might be a little bit harder to usurp.
Alright, so we're going to carefully go around these Turkins. Hopefully we do not get spotted by them. If we do, we're just going to have to deal with it. Because we only want to beat this Turkin. And now we got the keepsake, but we're now going to complete another Pond Spectre quest along the way. And we're going to grab the I think actually I got them mixed up. It's Hikasa's on that one, and then Tay in the tomb. So, where's the spider? Okay, it's over there. So we're going to go on this side. It's a little bit slower because we have to wait for the egg to de-aggro on us, or to hatch. And then we can collect the collectible. So we're going to finish off Hikasa's quest finally, and then we're going to finish Tay-Tay's quest off afterwards. So I guess if you want any more donations to read out or have any messages, then feel free to do them. Yeah.
Yep, one last one. We have $30 from Kenora, who says, let's finish off that Vice City couch challenge. Good luck, Aeon. Hope you don't get some of that bad luck you got in practice. So with that $30, that does meet that challenge, which was couch completing auto-scrollers. So yeah, lovely to have that one done, and that one is still a few runs away, so with plenty of time to spare.
Yes? What now?
So we finally got Hikasa, and now we're going to talk to Tay-Tay and get him.
What's Tay-Tay do this time?
So the reason why we do that in order is so that the quick travel can be a little bit faster here. And we're going to finally complete Set's quest that we activated earlier. So there's 3 birds that we have to defeat very quickly, and hopefully we do. And then we're going to finish off pretty much the second last main quest thing. Yeah, this game is really short when you just do the main quest, so yeah. Okay, there they are. We're going to already lock onto them, and we're going to lure them to us. Hopefully a couple of them come to us, so that means I can just like easily get more powerful attacks faster. Ooh, that wasn't it. Okay. I'm probably gonna hit one of them. Oh, I got both of them. Nice. Very good that we got a Affinity Burst there. Affinity Burst increases our party gauge at the top, and that means we get our Pond Spectre gauge filled up very quickly if we get them. I'm going to try avoiding hitting it with the last attack because I'm on full Pond Spectre gauge, and I need it for the next fight. And hopefully I get an excellent in order to take out this dino in one go. It's still a damage roll whether you take it out in one go, but hopefully this works out.
Pond Spectres, heed my call.
Okay, cool, got the excellent. Now we'll see if we got damage roll. By the way, when you do get an excellent, it's like 60% bonus damage, which is why it's pretty important to get nice. Yeah, Pond Spectres are broken, in case you haven't got that. So that dino also has an instant death attack, and because there are no visions in Future Connected, you won't see it coming in time unless you already have shield up. And it has to be shield like level 9 or 10 as well, so yeah, it's a pretty deadly attack to get hit by. So we're going to finally talk to Set again.
Made me feel how much more sprightly. One just wants naps.
So we're finally able to do One-One's quest, and he's the last Pond Spectre you collect, and his quest won't be active until you collect all the other Pond Spectres. Hence why we do him last. So now that we're on One-One's quest, we basically had to beat a cut purse Igna that stole something from him. I can't remember what, but he sounds very hungry, so it's probably a food item. So we're going to sneak past these Ignas. And the idea here is to not really get caught by anything else but the cut purse Igna. There was a new strat discovered, like, literally when I came to Adelaide. So I kind of have, like, I'm just kind of guessing because there's no video that has been shown off of it yet. But this has been, like, semi-consistent for me, since I do not know the exact location.
Looks like we don't have a choice.
We're knocking overhead here.
I'm really feeling it. Let's focus our efforts.
Understood. Nene got it. Through me. Hammer. The weak spot.
Melia,
Oh, that's bad luck. Okay. So that was an okay fight, but unfortunately I didn't get full gauge, which is going to be a big issue for the final boss. But after this cutscene, we're going to finally have all the Pond Spectres. So we basically completed this run on this objective. And now we're going to fight Folking. In this category, you do not have to fight the super boss after getting all the Pond Spectres, because we have all the Pond Spectres. But in 100%, you do have to beat the super boss.
One just wants nap.
So now that we're approaching Folking, there's a few things about him. He is probably the most random fight in the game, and can go horribly wrong if you get some unlucky attacks in a row. The biggest one we have to avoid is a second phase attack called Mispress, which can potentially topple your entire party for 17 seconds. Now, as you can see, as you've seen throughout the run, the fights have been incredibly fast, so getting toppled for 17 seconds, especially for your entire party, is pretty devastating. So hopefully we avoid that. Another thing, so the idea for our attacks too is to avoid long attacks and make sure we get short attacks. So because my gauge is kind of going to be low, it's going to take a little while to get there if I get unlucky on the first phase. The Folking fight is in 2 phases, and I'm going to do a safety save because you can't save, and if I do die, which is very unlikely in this category, but it can happen, yeah, I'm just going to do a safety save to hopefully circumvent the penalties of death. Okay, now we're going to fight Folking. So first phase is pretty straightforward. We're going to start off with lowering his defense and add air slash to build up our gauge. Luckily, he's being very cooperative. Yep, okay, cool.
Perspectives, do it now!
So I'm purposely not getting excellent there. And that's mainly so I can build up my gauge for the second phase and to make it a bit faster. And yeah, it's really important for me to hear Melia because Melia's the only one that can topple the Fog King. Unfortunately, I wasn't to the side of the Fog King there, so I failed to build up a gauge there. So this is the infamous phase 2. And he now has access to more moves like mispress and all that, and then I get blocked, so that is also really bad. Okay, mischarge. I'm trying to provoke him into using erasing miss. Oh my goodness, am I gonna get lucky? No. Okay, Agnos Beam. Probably should go behind him. Okay. That was actually pretty lucky. He could have done, too early. He could have done mispress, which is the 17-second topple. I wasn't ready for that. It's fine. Now he's using erasing this. Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm just gonna do this just for funsies after he's down. There we go. So it's gonna be time after this Fog King's HP hit 0, which is gonna be really soon. And time. So this category has received a lot of route changes over the past 2 months, thanks to Alexis Goes Moo and Sonic Shadow Silver 2. So the route would be like this thanks to them. Despite the mishap on the Sky Mole, that's actually a pretty good time despite that. So I'm pretty pleased. And yeah, if you want to run Xenoblade games, join the Xenoblade Speedrun Discord. Obviously, people are very excited for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 when that comes out in 2 weeks. So, yeah, and there's obviously details and stuff for other Xenoblade games on speedrun.com and yeah.
They saved us.
Yeah, I'm all good. Thanks for watching, everyone.